During the same time period of the run-up to the election, the Minister Avakov had said some especially candid things about then-candidate Trump on some various social media platforms. Are you aware of that?
Yes, as a result of the deposition, okay. The previous deposition.
Looking back on his comments in hindsight, do you see how that might create a perception that a very influential Ukrainian was advocating against then-candidate Trump?
That he was doing what? I'm sorry?
Just advocating. He was out to get him. I mean, he said some real nasty things.
Well, sometimes that happens on social media. And are you asking me whether it's appropriate? Probably not.
You previously testified that you sought advice from Ambassador Sondland at this time about what to do. Is that correct?
I did.
And why did you reach out to the ambassador?
Because this was clearly so political and was not going to be, the State Department was not in a position, shall we say, to manage the issue. It didn't appear to me. And so I asked Ambassador Sondland, who said that he was a political appointee. He said he was close to the president. And so I reached out to him for advice.
And what was his advice?
Well, he suggested that I needed to go big or go home. And he said that the best thing to do would be to send out a tweet, praise the president, that sort of thing.
And what was your reaction to that advice?
Well, my reaction was that I'm sure he meant well, but it was not advice that I could really follow. It felt it felt partisan, it felt political, and I just, that was not something that I thought was in keeping with my role as ambassador and a foreign service officer.
I want to know about you personally and how this has affected you personally and your family.
Yeah, it's been a difficult time. I mean, I'm a private person. I don't want to put all that out there, but it's been a very, very difficult time because the president does have the right to have his own or her own ambassador in every country in the world.
But does the president have the right to actually malign people's character? I mean,
there's a question as to why the kind of campaign to get me out of Ukraine happened. Because all the president has to do is say he wants a different ambassador. And in my line of work, perhaps in your line of work as well, all we have is our reputation. And so this has been a very painful period.
How has it affected your family?
I really don't want to get into that, but
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Because I do care.